The college basketball experience, Syracuse Orangemen 2022-23 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WinBet. Bet $100 at WinBet and get $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WinBet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by SGPN Fantasy. Yes, dominate your draft with the free SGPN draft kit. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/draft kit. And the free roll football contest is back and better than ever. $5,000 is up for grabs with our NFL contest and $1,500 in our brand new college football contest. Sign up exclusively in our Discord, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/discord. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/discord.
Hey, this is John Sally, and you listen to SGPN. Let it ride.
Yes. Woo! Welcome to the college basketball experience. Syracuse Orangemen 2022 season preview episode. My name is Kobe Swinging Database Dad, aka Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I smoke and I drink and I don't have stress and I'm healthy.
Oh, yes. Oh, I mean, what's better than talking Syracuse basketball? Not much as the Orange continue to be just a a blue blood. You know, this is a classic basketball team. I remember the days of Ronnie Cycli, and I mean they've always been
orange whip, 3 orange whip.
Orange whips. Give me an orange whip. Look, folks, this is a rich program. All right, we gotta cue up the music. We gotta get this thing going. All right. This is the Syracuse Orangemen. I remember the days of John Wallace. I remember the days of Sherman Douglas and Lawrence Moten. You can go way back. This has been a good program for a long time. And I mean, look, missed out on the NCAA tournament last year, but they were there the year prior. I mean, obviously they've had such great success in the NCAA tournament with Jim Boeheim there. So, I mean, just go back to the 70s and they've just been dominating for a long time. Obviously pre-70s, they weren't killing it by any means, but since the 70s, you know, they've been elite, very elite, great program. Jim Boeheim. I mean, this guy's record. He's 77 years old. He'll be 78 after the second week of the college basketball season. Shout out to him. He's a lifer. Played at Syracuse from 63 to 66. Was an assistant there. He's been with the program since 1963. Since the year JFK was shot, he's been with the program. Think about that. Unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, he's 998 and 426. And you got to wonder, unfortunately, I got to throw this out there for the Q's fans. You got to wonder. You're seeing it all around college sports. The sport is changing at a rapid pace right now. Coach K gone. Roy Williams gone. Bob McKillop, legendary guy down there at Davidson, gone. Jay Wright, gone. You're seeing it all over the sport. The old school coaches are kind of just saying, you know what, I don't want to deal with this. You're seeing it in football as well, but you're just saying like, man, we got to deal with the transfer portal. Is my team going to be intact this week? Is it going to be intact next week? Tomorrow? Is it going to be intact? it's a chaotic time. I mean, I think it's fantastic in many ways, but I also think it's tough in many ways. You might not even have the ACC in a couple years. Where does Syracuse find itself? That's why I think it's very critical right now that they invest heavy in basketball and football and get this program rolling, because the future of college athletics is crazy right now. So 78 years old. Does Coach Boeheim have one more magical run, maybe two more magical runs with him? I cannot wait to see this season. So let's recap last season though. Just 16-17 overall. That's tough when you consider the amount of success this program's had. He hasn't had many losing seasons at Syracuse. He hadn't had a losing season prior to last year. He hadn't had a losing season since. Wow. I'm trying to find the last time the guy had a losing season. I want to say 1968 was the last time Syracuse had a losing season. So that's not good. That's not good. And unfortunately, Buddy Boeheim, Jimmy Boeheim, they're gone. The Boeheim brothers, they're gone. They're graduated. That's 33 points per game combined. Buddy Boeheim shot 34% from three. Jimmy Boeheim 6 boards per game. So who's going to step up? And they lose Cole Swider, who I thought was playing key minutes. They also, there's a lot of reasons to be concerned, I guess. Dior Johnson at one point was a commit. Now he's going to Pitt. That was a huge loss. A couple other, Frank Anselem, the big man, went out to Georgia. I don't know how huge that loss is. Also, Bourama Sidibe graduated, or he's gone. But the Boeheims and Swider, huge hits, and the Dr. Johnson thing. So you look back at last season and 16-17, 9-11 in the ACC. What's it going to take to get a winning season this year? They were 16-17 ATS from a gambling standpoint. So not the best team to bet on. And let's hop into it. They were 26 in the nation at taking care of the ball. That's good. And they were 9th in, so they finished last year 9th within the ACC. Pace, 144th in the country. Pretty decent pace. I don't really buy into the pace stat too much, but they were 108th in free throw shooting. It's pretty damn good. I look at Notre Dame and Miami, where we just previewed. Go listen to all of our ACC previews. Notre Dame and Miami took care of the basketball. They shot well from the free throw line. They shot well from the 3-point line. Syracuse fits all those. All right. Syracuse was 17th in the nation at shooting the three. But here's the downside of this: 328th at defensive rebounding. Absolutely brutal at getting those rebounds. Now 132nd offensive rebounding, but 328th defensive rebounding is terrible. They're giving up an offensive rebound all the time. That is part of, I think, their struggles. And then I would also highlight the defensive side of the ball. They were 207th in adjusted defense. Now you could say adjusted offense, they're 15th, but I think you look clearly at why this team struggled is they couldn't rebound and they couldn't play defense. And that is going to cost you. You can take really good care of the basketball. You can shoot well from three. You can shoot well from the free throw line, but if you can't play defense and you're giving up multiple possessions to your opposing team, it's going to be tough treading for you. It's going to be really tough treading for you. So I don't know. I think this year will be interesting because they lost a lot. I know they brought in pretty good class. Also hit the transfer portal a little bit. And we're going to key in on the roster and what we expect from Syracuse this season. But I definitely can't wait to watch Jimmy Boeheim, or Jim Boeheim, I should say, coach this year. And I hope he sticks around for a few more years. I'd like to see one more run from Syracuse deep. But very excited to break that down. But we're going to talk the roster. We're going to talk the schedule and what we really expect from Syracuse in 2022 and 23. But folks, remember, first subscribe to the College Basketball Experience wherever you listen to podcasts at. All right, and also subscribe to the College Football Experience as well, because Dino Babers' big year. We talked about that. Go listen to that season preview over there, and we're together as one on YouTube as the College Experience. YouTube.com/the College Experience. Check us out. But before we get to all of that, I got to get us paid. Okay, so I want to tell you folks out there that the Syracuse Orangemen 2022-23 season preview episode on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WinBet. Bet $100 at WinBet, get a $100 free bet. Head over to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/winbet. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/WYNNBET to claim your free bet today. We're also brought to you by Odds Trader. Odds Trader is a place to compare odds from all the major sports books. You can also compare the different sign-up codes and promo codes from sportsbook to sportsbook to assure that you get the best deal possible. The app provides player stats, key game stats, injury reports, projected game day weather for bettors who make the most informed bets possible. It also has a bet tracker, and that's what I love. It keeps track of all your records, organizes it for you and your betting activity. And for me, you get me in, say, November when the Qs are playing. You know, I'm betting on. It's tough to stay organized. Honestly, you have college basketball, college football, NFL going on, NHL, NBA. You add in the World Cup, which is happening this year. Shit, I even bet on the Grey Cup in the CFL most years in the playoffs over there, and that's in November. But you add in all of that, and then you also, like, what happens if there's a UFC match or, you know, a boxing match. So, I mean, it can get chaotic those months. I love it, but it can get chaotic. So I love how the fact they organize that for you. So go to oddstrader.com/Blue Wire. OddsTrader, the number one site for all your game day bets. We're also brought to you by the Free Roll Football Contest. Yes, college football contest giving away $1,500 up for grabs. Come on. And the NFL contest, $5,000 and a 2-night stay at Wynn Las Vegas is up for grabs. Sign up exclusively in our Discord. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. All right, we're back talking Qs. And, you know, it's tough. So I highlighted on what they lost. Losing Swider and the Boeheim brothers together, that is 47 points of production. And then you add in the reserves, you're looking at 53 points of production gone, let alone Buddy Boeheim's 34% 3-point shooting. I know Swider also was able to hit the three, and Jimmy Boeheim capable as well. It's going to be very interesting this year. Now, the incoming class, they only hit the portal once for 6'7". How do I pronounce this guy's name? Mounir Hima from Duquesne with the Dukes there. Giving the team some height, though, that's always good. And then you have 5 incoming freshmen. Now, 4 of the 5. So actually, wait. You have 6 incoming freshmen in the top 250 coming in, and 4 of the 6 in the top 200. So how fast can they grow up? That, I think, might be one of the storylines when talking Syracuse basketball this year. Judah Mintz out of out of Mouth of Wilson, Virginia. That is their top recruit coming in, number 51 recruit in the country. He's a guard. Also 6'7" forward Chris Bunch out of Mount Pleasant, Utah. And Bunch, I think, could really be an X factor. Also 6'6" forward Justin Taylor, 123rd ranked recruit out of Florida. 6'6" guard Quadir Copeland out of Florida, as well as 6'9" forward Malik Brown from Virginia, and 6'11" forward Peter Carey out of Massachusetts. All top 50 recruits, or top 250 recruits. I'm sorry, but 4 of the 6 top 200. Hey, great. Okay, you brought in a good class. How fast can you grow up? That's what's going to happen here, and that's what's going to need to happen for Qs to make a deep run. The projected starting 5. Well, what's great is they get Joseph Girard back, the third. You know, he can hit the 3. He's your point guard. He takes care of the ball. There's a reason why they didn't turn over the ball much last season. I love that. So getting Joe Girard back, 14 points per game, 4 assists, shot 40% from 3, huge. How about this? I'm going to go a little bit out of sequence here, but Jesse Edwards, he was out last season for the year. He got injured early on. 6'11" senior Jesse Evans, 12.7 boards, 3 blocks. Huge get to get him. He needs to stay healthy. I can't emphasize that enough for this season. So I'm projecting that at the 1 will be Joe Girard. At the 2, Samir Torrance, 3 points per game, 38% from 3. Then you have the freshman Chris Bunch in the mix. Can he work out? At the 4, I think it's going to be Benny Williams. Be interesting to watch. At the 5, Jesse Edwards, and then some of those freshmen playing key roles on the bench. There's a lot of unknown right there. That's a lot of youth on this roster. How fast can they grow up? How will Jesse Edwards play coming off that injury? It's going to be very interesting to watch Syracuse. Syracuse is always one of those teams that early in the season struggles, and then Jimmy Boeheim will have the defense, really play an elite come late February, early March. So, those elements right there, always. How many times have people, including myself, underestimated Syracuse and then they turn it on late February, get in the big dance, and then make a magical run? It happens quite often, I feel like, and that's Jim Boeheim being just a fantastic coach. Let's get into it though, because I do see a schedule out here for the Qs, and what would be a great season that would have Syracuse fans excited for perhaps another year of Jim Boeheim in the future. And obviously, I think he's got a lifetime contract, right? He can, as long as he wants to stay. It's like Joe Paterno or something, right? They have a couple exhibitions against Indiana, PA, and then Southern New Hampshire in late October and early November. But November 7th comes Lehigh University. That should be a win. We don't have the ACC schedule, by the way. We do not have the ACC schedule yet. So once that schedule releases, we'll have an episode revealing that. But yeah, Lehigh is the season opener. That I think you should be able to handle business there, and Syracuse should be able to be 1-0. Before we get to the rest of the schedule, I got to get us paid one more time. Though I want to tell you that the college basketball experience is brought to you by Sleeper. Sleeper is the fastest growing fantasy platform today with millions of players. You probably already have a fantasy league on there. I know I do. And it is a game changing product. Unlike anything else in the industry, they have this brand new over under game, which is fantastic. You basically select 2 or more players you like based on their stat projection, and you go over or under on that. And you can win anywhere from 2 times to 20 times the amount of money you put in there. So right now on your mobile phone, join our listener group on Sleeper at sleeper.com/SGP, and Sleeper will automatically match your first deposit up to $100. That's promo code SGP. Once again, that's sleeper.com/SGP, and you'll get a $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. We're also brought to you by Run Your Pool. Run Your Pool is the home of competition, bringing sports fans and their social circles together to compete, connect, to make every game matter more. Run Your Pool offers every game you can think of under the sun, from Pick'em to Survivor to fantasy pools. It is a one-stop shop for sports gaming with customizable features that simply you will not get anywhere else. And get this, we've teamed up with Run Your Pool. Yes, SGPN has, for our own SGPN NFL Survivor contest, free to enter. Hop in now to reserve your spot. We're giving away $500 cash to the winner, plus a $250 gift card to the SGPN store. So sign up today over at play.runyourpool.com/SGPN. That's play.runyourpool.com/SGPN. All right, we're back, and I got them 1-0. All right, against Lehigh. Bold take, right? Interesting matchup though on November 15th, because Colgate, the Raiders, watch out. They keep a decent program there. They have to come into Syracuse, so they open the season with 3 home games. Lehigh, Colgate, which I think I think Syracuse should win that game, but watch out. Colgate can get you. They're a pretty good basketball program. And then Northeastern, not a bad basketball program either. So out of the CAA, they should be 3-0. Should be 3-0. And then you got the Empire Classic going on in Brooklyn, where they're going to take on the Richmond Spiders. Richmond made the NCAA tournament a year ago, pulled off an upset in the first round. But they lost a ton. And I think that's a winnable game. Now, could you lose that game? Sure. Mooney does a great job down there in Richmond, but they did lose some key players. So I think it's anyone's game. I would favor Syracuse. So probably it should be 4-0. Then you're going to get the winner of the St. John's Temple game on November 22nd. That's where it gets tricky, because I probably will have you as a dog in both those matchups. Temple, this is a big year for Aaron McKee at Temple. I think it's his best roster he's had in Philly. And then St. John's, obviously, with getting some of the talent they've brought in. Mike Anderson, finally, I mean, he gets a winning season every year, but they kind of underachieved. This is a big year for Coach Anderson in Queens. I would say 4-1 is what you should be happy with there. And then you got a home game against Bryant, the Bulldogs at Syracuse in November 26th. That should be a win. So 5-1. If you could be 6-0, unbelievable. But 5-1 is what I would expect through the schedule thus far. But then comes November 29th when Syracuse heads to Champaign, take on the Illini, and I think the Illini are pretty loaded this year with some of the gets they've got in the portal. I don't see a way that I'd be shocked if you won on the road in Champaign. But hey, that's the best part about sport is you can make idiots like us or me look like a fool. But I would assume if you sit there right there, you say 3, 4, 5-2 after the month of November. If you're 5-2 after November, heading into December, then you get Oakland. Watch out. Oakland's pretty damn good too. Watch out for Oakland. They can play. Then you get Georgetown, and obviously this rivalry is fantastic. This is one of the great rivalries of college basketball, and I think Georgetown, Patrick Ewing, after having a terrible season last year, 2 years ago, he made the NCAA tournament and had a magical run in the Big East tournament. But I think they're going to be a lot better this year, and I think this game being in Syracuse, though, because I actually think on paper Georgetown's roster is probably better than Syracuse's, but the game is in the Carrier Dome or the JMA Wireless, whatever the fuck you call that now. But I think it's a winnable game, and I think it's one that is pretty essential to the future of this program this year. I think like if you can grab this win here against Georgetown, it'd be a great opportunity to that could be one that pays off in March if Georgetown has the type of success that I think they're capable of. Huge game Saturday, December 10th. Cannot wait to watch that one. Then December 12th, they host the Monmouth Hawks. Monmouth is not a terrible program either, so watch out. King Rice, former North Carolina Tar Heel point guard, head coach there, should take care of business there. And then you get Cornell, and that's all I know from out of conference. You should beat Cornell. I would say you'll probably be favored in every game except the St. John's or Temple game, the Illinois game, and potentially the Georgetown game. I kind of think that's kind of a 50-50. I don't know who will be favored in that one, but I will say this: if they can go without, I would say if you can go with 2 losses, so meaning St. John's or Temple in Illinois, and win the rest, I think you're in decent shape. Obviously, anything better than that's fantastic. But I'm going to say that that's going to be essential for when ACC play. When ACC play starts, like I said, we don't have the schedule in front of us, so I can't project how the things will work out. But I do think the Qs could there's wins out there to get, and I think if they can just be 500 or better, you might be able to find your way into the NCAA tournament. But I think there's wins out there to get, and I mentioned this on the other shows. ACC win, I think, is pretty obvious. North Carolina's the best team. That's one tier, I think, alone. After that, there's a second tier, which I think has UVA and Duke. After that, I think there's a third tier, which has Florida State, Miami, and Notre Dame. Maybe you could talk me into Louisville being on that tier too. But I don't know. I kind of think it's just those 3. Then the next tier, I'd probably favor Louisville at the top. But then there's like Wake Forest, and I feel like Syracuse in that mix. And then after that, there's the next tier of like, well, actually I would throw NC State in that tier as well. But then after that, the next tier would be Clemson, Boston College, Pitt, Virginia Tech's kind of one of the enigmas of the ACC. Kiva Loom is gone, but there's wins out there to get. Georgia Tech also in that last tier. So you can get wins against Georgia Tech. You can get wins against Clemson. You can get wins against, Pitt, Boston College. They're going to need to win those matchups. Those are going to be must-win games. And then if you can pull a few upsets, maybe get Louisville, maybe get Wake Forest, maybe UVA plays a style of basketball, a brand of basketball. It's great. Tony Bennett's a great coach, but you can be susceptible for losses at times. Maybe you can steal a win there. Duke's incredibly young. Maybe you can steal a win there. I don't know. But we will have that covered for you more once we get the ACC basketball schedule. But I do believe this, though. Gun to my head right now, I do not think Syracuse is a tournament team. Now, I've looked like a fool before with Jim Boeheim. He's a fantastic coach, and he is who he is for a reason. He can overachieve greatly. maybe that could be the case there. But looking at the projections right now that I see, roster wise, I don't think they're a tournament team. They're a team that could have a winning record, I think, but I don't think they're a tournament team. The 50-50 games, they're going to have to really, really play well. If they can take care of business in those 50-50 games and beat the teams they should beat and not afford it, not get any losses to Clemson or Georgia Tech or something, then maybe they'll be in the mix for that. And yeah, I can't wait to watch it because I love watching coaching legacies like this, and I want to see them make the tournament. I'm going to root for them to make the tournament, but I think on paper right now, I can't say that they're a tournament team, but there's opportunity to be a tournament team. And I think that's all you want as a basketball fan, right? Is, hey, can we continue to win? I'm very curious what the fans think of Jim Boeheim, and do they want a changing of the guard, or are they just happy with that he's just such a legendary coach? Keep coaching until you want to coach. So I don't know. Feel free to hit us up on that at TCE on SGPN. I'd love to know your thoughts. That's us on Twitter. But yeah, I'm going to call for Syracuse to miss out on the NCAA tournament, but give me a winning record. Give me like a 17-15 record or something like that. All right. But I've been wrong before. I'm going to be rooting for the Orange, and let's go, folks. Subscribe to the College Basketball Experience. Also remember, subscribe to the College Football Experience. Excited for that Syracuse Louisville game this Saturday. Should be a good one up there in the Dome. Also remember, follow us on YouTube, subscribe over there, youtube.com/the College Experience. We appreciate everyone. Please on Twitter also, like I said, at TCE on SGPN, give us a follow. I'm on Twitter at TheColbyD. Feel free to hit us up with Syracuse questions. And I'm excited to always bring you college football and college basketball talk. When college basketball season starts November 7th, I will be coming to you every single night like I did last year and the year before that. So subscribe, tell a friend. We will talk college hoops year round here, and we also talk college football year round on the College Football Experience. Subscribe, tell a friend, and check out the Sports Gambling Podcast. We just had some great episodes with some legendary people there: Pat McAfee, Randy Cross, Mike Leach. Go on and on and on. Check it out. I think you'll dig it all. Get the SGPN app for free in the App Store, Google Play Store, and also remember the Discord channel. We talk college basketball and college football year round. Syracuse basketball, Syracuse football year round. Hop in there. That is sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Discord. All righty, folks. This is the College Basketball Experience, Syracuse Orangeman style. You better start thinking about yours, and we out of here.
At the Olympics, doesn't matter who wins because they're all losers.
When we were winning conference titles and going to the Final Four, we were making a statement.
Hello? You play to win the game. You don't play to just play it.
It's easy to see a tide turn.
Because when you're in East Carolina, you go for it every time. Or you don't coach at East Carolina, you don't come to East Carolina, you don't play at East Carolina with a weak heart. Write it.
And sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Well, I know that. They bring the head comb.
Get my limousine right on 85.